All right. Sorry, everybody. We were late this morning. We are working hard across the state, mayors across the state, to lobby for direct fiscal assistance in this next federal relief package that the Senate is considering. So that's taken up some time this morning. So sorry to be late, but it's really, really important that we get direct fiscal assistance because we've got tremendous helps from the federal government so far, from Congress. We really appreciate all the relief that's out there. And that's part of what we'll talk today about in terms of small business. But we localities, municipalities, cities, we need direct financial assistance as well. But the money that's come out before until this point is for things like PPE, extra technology to be able to work from home, things that we need to be able to get reimbursed for. And we're very grateful for that. But what we don't have is any relief for our losses in revenues. So we're lobbying across the state and country for that. And I think that the Senate will be taking up the bill next week. So we're really wanting to make sure that those in DC understand what it is we need here in our cities. So yeah, it's a tough climate out there, and for all the families out there in Scranton and all the folks that are currently unemployed, that extra financial assistance, that extra unemployment assistance runs out next Friday. I don't have to tell you that. So that's something too. I hope that Congress is considering. I hope that they're looking at that to continue to provide those extra benefits to help people get through this. Yesterday, well, let me back up. So we can talk about this. There's another Senate bill to potentially help small businesses, but let me introduce Keith Yurgosky from the University of Scranton Small Business Development Center. Keith can have this conversation with me, so thank you, Keith, as we talk about ways to help small businesses navigate the crisis. So we've had a successful grant and loan program here at the city, and we still have grants and loans available. So we'd really love people to go to scrantonworks.org under business relief, apply for a grant, apply for a loan that's there for you. I've had a lot of business owners are so wonderful. It's like so the spirit of Scranton saying, I didn't apply the grant because I knew somebody needed it more than me, which is wonderful. If that's what you believe, and thank you, please make sure that the people you know that run a business know. It includes sole proprietorships. Make sure people know about this. But if you yourself, if you're looking at this and we're seeing that this virus is going to be here for a long time, disrupting our lives and our businesses, you can apply for those grants and loans. So please do so. So Keith, I know you guys have had a very busy few months as well. What do you guys have going on that could be helpful for our community? And then maybe we could talk about what we might foresee down in the future.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know what the Small Business Development Center is, the SBDC is part of the Pennsylvania Small Business Development Center Network. We're an accredited affiliate of the National Association of Small Business Development Centers, known as America's SBDC. There's over 1,000 centers nationwide. Our service covers an 8-county area of Northeast PA. We're based at the University of Scranton, but we go from the New Jersey border with Wayne, Monroe, and Pike counties, and Lackawanna, which we consider our northeastern region. And then we also have our northern tier region, which is Susquehanna, Wyoming, Bradford, and Tioga County. So there's like a 4-hour time lag from one end of our service area to the next. So since this has started, we basically hit the ground running. I want to say, right around St. Patrick's Day when everything was shutting down. Fortunately for our center, we had been working virtual as a test. So even when we had staff meetings, we would do them virtually, just so that we would get used to using Zoom and those kind of things in the event of a crisis. And then when it actually happened, we were ready to roll. Unfortunately, our services were to help grow businesses, and it's turned into helping businesses survive. And we had to make that pivot pretty quickly, not only at the University of Scranton SBDC, but all the SBDCs nationwide. So like from the beginning of this, and it's funny because I just had this conversation with my daughter. On March 13th, I dropped her off at the Philadelphia airport to go to spring break. And 2 days later, she returned. And she said, that seems like it was years ago. Because of all the things that have kind of happened, and it's not just myself or my family, it's everybody. So what was tasked with the Small Business Administration, who is one of our funding partners, as well as the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development and the University of Scranton. We're funded by that to provide consulting services to small businesses. And there's a lot of Scranton businesses that we work with, and we've actually worked with a lot more of them now since this pandemic has set in. But generally speaking, a small business is anything having fewer than 500 employees. So in Northeast PA, that's a majority of our businesses. But we're able to work with these businesses in a confidential one-on-one setting at no cost to help them with a range of topics, such as getting started in business, putting together a business plan, helping them to secure financing. Then we work with existing businesses in areas like marketing, human resources. My specialty is social media, internet marketing. I work with a lot of businesses with search engine optimization, getting online e-commerce. So there's a lot of things that we do. You know, unfortunately, as I said, our services pivoted to helping businesses through the financial packages that have been offered. And when we cover 8 counties, there's a lot of them. So, you know, there's the general ones that the SBA had out, the PPP loan, which a lot of our local businesses applied for. And we worked with clients to walk them through that process of the application. Then there's the economic injury disaster loan, or the EIDL loan, and that had the advance that a lot of businesses were applying for. So we would assist in that process. And then there's other programs out there, like the USDA has money now. They have a loan guarantee. There's, you know, each of the communities, like Scranton has the Scranton Works and the grants. So there's a lot of local counties that have those. So trying to learn all the different applications, who's eligible, who's not eligible. We've been working kind of through that process with all of our different businesses. So it's interesting. You know, there's a lot of businesses, unfortunately, that aren't going to make it through this. You know, and that hurts, because we work closely with a lot of them. And there's just, some of them just see the handwriting on the wall that they really can't diversify themselves to figure out a new way to continue on. So that is one of the strategies that we're trying to work with now, is business diversity, helping businesses to identify new customers, new suppliers, new products. With restaurants, we've been working with them to kind of restructure their menus, their hours of operations, to try to free up cash flow, and to look at their basic cash flow of all businesses and where you can cut expenses to try to keep everything trim. Because in the event, you know, we do get shut down again for a period of time, you know, is the grant money and is the federal assistance and the state assistance going to be there? We don't know. So we've been trying to, you know, walk our clients through this. It's a fine line, a tightrope, you know, but we're still there, and we're willing to work with anybody that we can help.
Wow. So yeah, what's amazing about your group it's across the nation, but it's so fantastic that it's really truly in our communities. You actually do cash flow assistance, and you really do provide technical assistance for businesses as they try to figure this out. So we always mention you guys, your number and contact's always on all of our information, but it really is pretty incredible what you guys are able to do. And it's, you know, you're basically consultants, but it's not costing these businesses what a consultant would cost, right? So it really is.
Services are free. So, you know, it's worth having the conversation. And a lot of people, they basically said, you're the one agency that answered the phone through all of this. So we took that as a compliment that, you know, we know people are struggling, they're looking for an answer, and they don't always have the time to call during the 9 to 5 or whatever. And, you know, so we try to call, we try to get back, and we, you know, try to just be an ear. And sometimes that's all it is we're just there to let them vent, because it is frustrating. There's, you know, if your business is shut down and there's nothing you can do, you know, it's frustrating. So, hey, and I've told business owners, I said, if you just need to vent and you want to call and talk to somebody, I'll listen, you know, so sometimes that helps.
Great. Well, you just stay on Facebook with me this afternoon and answer some questions with me. How about that?
Right.
Well, do you have a window into, or I just wanted the community out there to know that there's a new proposed bill out in the Senate. It's Michael Bennett of Colorado and Todd Young of Indiana. It's the Restart Act. Essentially what they're proposing is longer term, more flexible loans, which would be, you know, similar to the PPP, but have a longer timeline.
Yeah.
and enable business owners to do more with those funds. So that's out there. I don't know what that's going to look like, but we think about, Chick's Diner announced yesterday that they're closed indefinitely. Hopefully they'll be back. Obviously,
Yeah.
really hope. But as we look at this crisis, I just don't see our restaurants and bars or event venues or theaters. I don't see them being able to go back to full capacity until 2022. So we really need some longer term relief out there. And I think it's going to have to come from the federal government.
Yeah. But there's also going to be, at that point, a business owner is going to have to make the determination. And it goes back to looking at like your marketing plan of what do the people want? So we've had restaurants that have said to us, though, even though we're shut down, we now realize we're making the same profit we were making when, doing takeout that we were making with a full service restaurant, with all the, having to pay all our employees and being open all these hours and all the expenses that go with that. So some of them are saying, hey, I have more time to spend with my family, and maybe I need to restructure my business. So let's take a look at that. No, not the answer anybody wants to hear. Nobody wants to see less employees or anything else, but this is the new environment we're in. And until we can figure out a way out of it, businesses that want to survive, they're going to have to make adjustments.
Right. Yeah. And the adjustments are hard. And I think that's
very
so hard, even just small things, right? It's so hard to operate your business, to work on your business and in your business at the same time. And that's the most difficult, one of the most difficult things about being a small business owner, right? Is you have to do it all. You don't have a giant administrative, professional staff that's helping you make those bigger decisions.
And that's what a lot of our businesses during the shutdowns were, we were advising them, now's the time to train yourself on all those things you said you never had time for. So social media marketing, how to set up an e-commerce store, so we would walk them through some of that process of, finding a different way to get the products in the customer's hands. So, you take the negative and try to turn it into a positive. I had an old football coach in high school would always say that, and that's good advice. This is a real negative, but try to make the best of it and, get yourself trained, help your people who are on PPP loans, they're paying their employees to sit home. Tell them right now, hey, you're my employer. I'm paying you, get trained, learn a new skill, learn this, so try to take advantage of that.
So in speaking about a business that's decided to kind of close until further notice, is there some sort of relief for them in that interim period? Or are there any programs out there where that can help them with rent to continue to at least have their footprint while they, wait for this cloud to lift? And
for those who haven't applied for the economic injury loan, the idea of that is it's to look at what kind of injury did you suffer. So, a lot of people jumped on that in the early on, and, because they wanted to get that advance that was up to $10,000, depending on how many employees they had. But the economic injury should be the way to document what kind of injury you've had. And that right there, but again, it's a loan. So a lot of people are like, I don't want another loan. So as far as like the free money that's out there or grant money, the state of Pennsylvania currently has there's the hazard pay grant for essential businesses that were deemed essential and that had frontline employees that had to go. And then there's the Pennsylvania statewide small business assistance program, which provides grants up to $50,000 for small business. And our local chamber through their lending arm, Metro Action, is the contact point for that one. They currently are not accepting new applications, but there's supposed to be 3 rounds, and the second application should open, I believe, in the first week of August at some point. People who have already applied and haven't heard, they don't need to resubmit their applications. But if you haven't applied, that's an avenue for you right there.
Wow. Could you talk about the hazard pay program? I think that just came out in the last week. I think I haven't talked about that.
It's very limited. Again, it's for frontline employees, and I'm off the top of my head, I don't have the application in front of me, but I know doctors' offices, dentist offices, people who had people working through the shutdowns, grocery stores, any kind of specialty food manufacturers, they could apply. So, and the idea is to be able to provide some pay beyond what they were making. So it would be a hazard pay grant that allows employers to reward those employees who stuck around. And, you know, and in my opinion, these grocery store employees really deserve that. You know, they stayed with us through the whole, since the beginning. You know,
Great.
so I think any of the stores locally that, you know, were open and have people there. And I know I've talked with some of the business owners in Scranton that have, you know, had people working through this to try to get them to apply. Unfortunately, restaurants are not, and also anybody that was telecommuting, you're not eligible. So, you know, that's a downer.
Well, but the hazard, but right, the hazard piece is just that the hazard has been the in-person, right? So
Yeah,
that makes sense. But that has the tight timeline, right? I think it's next Friday that you have to apply by. Is that right?
It could be. I'd have to look that up.
I
There's so
think,
many applications. I don't remember the dates on half of them.
yeah, I think. Oh, I'm sure. I know. But I think it was July 31st. So that's a really.
But I mean, anybody that has that needs information on that, I mean, we could get that. We'll get that to them if they just want to contact our office.
Thank you. Yeah, and I know we posted it last week also. Yeah, and I know somebody asked me about municipal. Can you do that here? And unfortunately, I don't think it applies to government workers. So a different thing. Well, Keith, thank you. This is really helpful. It's awesome to know you guys are just down the street. You provide such great services, and we really appreciate it. If there is anything ever that the city should be, you know, sending out to get information out, we're happy to do it. That's our job here, is to, you know, really be a resource. We try to do some things ourselves here, but really it's SBDC and people like you that are out there and who can actually offer that technical assistance. So
one of the services that actually you guys could help us get the word out about is the Small Business Internship Initiative that we currently have. And that is when COVID started, most of your traditional internships just kind of came to a screeching halt. So we've worked with our small businesses and determined that some of them need help from interns, for instance, social media marketing, setting up those e-commerce stores. So we've we've created what's called a micro internship, which isn't linked based, it's project based. So you can say, I need an intern to help me through this project. So unlike a traditional internship, it's short term, again, project based, and it can be done remotely. And the Scranton Chamber has agreed to fund these micro internships through the Small Business Internship Fund. So traditionally, if you're going to pay $1,000 for an internship, the chamber chips in $500 for these micro internships. If you pay $500 to an intern, they'll fund half at $250.
Right.
So if anybody's interested in something like that, you can get more information at scrantonsbdc.com/internships.
Wonderful. That's so cool. We love interns. And
it's not just from the University of Scranton. It's from a whole series of area colleges that are part of this initiative. And our office works with the business owner to create the job description, to create the learning objectives for the student, so that the student and the business owner both, you know, see something out of it.
Right. Yeah, it's gotta be good for the student too and help them grow. But that's fantastic. Okay, we will definitely, if you get more information to my team, we can post that too and make sure that we have the right info to put out. We've been having a lot of success with interns in our office too.
I know you swiped Abigail from us.
I'm
kidding.
But that's paid through the state. So there's a state program to help us with that. Right. So,
and these internships again are paid. It's not like a lot of people look for a free intern and you know, it's a paid internship opportunity that the business would have to provide.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's what we do too. So the money's coming from the state, not the city, which is great, but the city benefits because we've been able to do that. It's great because, you know, whether it's a small business that you're working for or the city, you know, at least they're doing, a lot of these kids are able to do something this summer when, like you said, a lot of the summer jobs got canceled. So,
right.
All right, Keith, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We hope to have you on again.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. All right. Oh, excuse me. All right. So looks like our COVID numbers have started to, this week it's stayed a little bit more steady than I think we worried about but there are, we certainly are seeing an uptick in cases, and certainly seeing an uptick in cases across the country. So it's a sorry. I think it's more important than ever that we are wearing masks and taking precautions, and especially not going out if you're sick. So if you know that you have maybe been exposed to someone with COVID, or God forbid you think you have it yourself, please do not go out like we've been doing for months. Somebody else can go to the store for you. You can always let us know if you need help so that you don't have to leave the house. It's unfortunately, I feel like we're kind of back in March, April in a lot of ways, where we really need to be careful. I know there's been parties out there and people doing all sorts of socializing without masks on, and we've seen the repercussions of that. We've seen those cases go up. So please do wear a mask. We do have a complaint policy. You can call us, you can email us if you have a complaint about a business or an organization that's allowing people not to be wearing masks. Sorry. See? I cough into the elbow. There's nobody else in this room. I have my mask for as soon as I see anybody. So it's just more important than ever that we really understand that we've got to protect the health of ourselves and our family members and anybody we come into contact with. So please stay home if you need to. Stay home if you're sick, and make sure that you're wearing a mask whenever you leave your house. Okay, let's see. There's just so much. There's so much, right? That's the thing. There's really just so much happening, and I'm worried about the extra assistance running out, that extra unemployment assistance running out. I'm stressed out about that for people. The evictions got extended, so that's a good thing. But we have a lot of our neighbors in Scranton who are really suffering right now. So if you know somebody that needs help, you can let us know, and we can try to direct you to a resource or direct them to a resource. The 211 phone number is really, really useful if people need rental assistance, utilities assistance, food assistance. There's let's see, a couple things I wanted to mention on the food front. Okay, so this coming week, the Friends of the Poor drive-through is Scranton High School, Monday the 29th, 2:30 to 5:30. So again, Scranton High on, not Monday, Wednesday, excuse me. Scranton High on Wednesday, July 29th, 2:30 to 5:30 at Scranton High. That'll be that food giveaway. Just really, really important that we continue to help our neighbors. So thanks to Friends of the Poor for always being there for us. There is that Pennsylvania CARES rent or mortgage relief assistance. So it's renters can receive up to $750 a month for up to 6 months, or people with mortgages can get relief up to $1,000 a month for 6 months. So that's a huge this is huge, right? So take advantage. If you're eligible, check if you're eligible at lackawannacounty.org and see if you can get some assistance there. So I think we should really be pushing that out. It's a huge relief for some of our families that are in need. So we talked a lot about this last week, and I really want to emphasize it. Yesterday, I was talking with some other mayors, and we talked about mental health, not just for our residents, but also for, ourselves, our employees. This is a really hard time. Just, and talking with Keith just now about small businesses. I mean, small business owners, it's so stressful. It's just so stressful for everyone. So please know that there are a lot of phone numbers and a lot of support out there if you are somebody that you love or somebody you know might really need to talk to somebody. So Human Services, Pennsylvania Human Services has a COVID support line at 855-284-2494. There's the Veterans Crisis Line is 800-273-8255. The Disaster Distress Helpline is 1-800-985-5990. National Suicide Prevention Line is 800-273-8255. Or if you don't feel like picking up the phone, if you can text message, you can text 741-741 and text TALK, TALK to 741-741. So, you can even just get help via text, which is great. So it's a really scary time out there for so many people. And I just want people to know that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to raise your hand. So in terms of things that are going on in the city, there actually is a lot of really exciting stuff happening in the city. We've got the Parks Passport, which has been fun. We've got pictures going out with that. So appreciate people that are using that and posting. It's great. Our Work From Here initiative is out in the world via first the Washington Post, which is so cool. That article came out yesterday, and then the Scranton Times ran something today. So we'll do an Instagram campaign around that. And the idea is that, and we all know this, we're only 100 miles from New York. We're only 100 miles from Philly. We're actually not even that far from Boston and Baltimore and Washington, D.C. If people, individuals, families are looking to get out of the big cities and move to somewhere affordable, be able to buy a home here and stretch out, this is a great place. And you could still have your job, in one of those bigger cities if you needed to. With all this remote work, why not work from here? So simple idea, simple concept. A lot of people were already doing it, but I know a lot of people who have actually at least temporarily moved here to get out of New York, to get out of these big cities. So like I have said, and I was thrilled, got some traction this week. Why can't we be that kind of inland destination that's affordable? We have great amenities. We have fabulous food. We've got great coffee shops. We've got great parks. You can work remotely from a lot of these places. And I hope that we can continue to grow here at the city. And we're doing all we can to lay a better foundation in terms of the city, how make it easier to do business here, improve quality of life here. We have some quality of life initiatives that we're rolling out. We talked about this before, that we're improving. A long way to go, improving our demolition process. So we're going to be able to move more quickly on properties that have been abandoned or where the owners have been delaying repairs. So we'll be able to move faster on that and really approach it from across the entire city. We're trying not to just do patchwork things. We want to be able to address all these things throughout the city. And the other piece of it is going through the neighborhoods and helping people clean up if they need help. So we're working on that, and we'll have more information next week. But it's really, really, really important that we focus on quality of life in the city. I think something that sometimes gets lost is people thinking, oh, well, why haven't you given more tickets, right? Well, to me, the quality of life ticket isn't to generate revenue. We're not out there giving parking tickets to generate revenue. We're out there to improve quality of life and make it easier to do business in the city. So we have to flip the way that we look at this. So going out into neighborhoods isn't to punish anybody. It's to make sure that people understand the rules, comply with the rules, and we might have to cite people. But the idea is to get places cleaned up. We want people to have their yards mowed. It's not, we don't want the 25. I mean, we'll take the $25 if we need to cite you, but the goal isn't to cite people and be punitive. The goal is to get the grass mowed and make sure that the neighborhood is safe and clean. So it's a little bit different maybe than some people think about it, but that's what this is about. It's not about the number of tickets that we're giving. Like, really, this is about how our neighborhoods look, and we've got a ways to go, but we're working really hard for that. And just like we're talking about Work From Here, and Scranton, it has a very cool past and a very bright future. We're trying to be positive here. And so I know some people like to stay negative, and y'all can do that if you want to. It's all right, but we'll stay positive here at the city and continue to make positive changes. So let's see. Okay, Debbie is asking, what are some examples of losses in revenue? So losses in revenue include some property taxes. If folks have been unable to pay their property taxes, income taxes, people won't be able to pay what they owe on their income taxes this year. Same with the refuse fees. People that are unemployed unexpectedly, have lost a business or might lose a business, those people, they still owe us the refuse fee, but it might be that they decide that the refuse fee is a bill that they just can't pay this year. And And we know that. And so those are some examples of losses in revenue. There are, real estate was on hold for a few months there. And so we weren't getting the real estate transfer taxes in. So we've got to look at what those revenue line items look like. Hopefully it's ramped up since then. But any of these things that were stopped, delayed, stopped for a few months, we're not going to see as much revenue for those things. And as we go to 2021, I'm especially worried about drops in income taxes. Think about it. People aren't working. They're not generating income taxes, and that's not going to come to the city next year. So we've seen better than expected numbers on property taxes so far, which is good, but it remains to be seen on the income taxes. And we're tracking everything, of course, but those are some examples of lost revenue. And then Mike asks, will you be attending the Veterans Memorial dedication at Scranton High Saturday? Yes, Mike, I will be there tomorrow. It's 11 o'clock tomorrow at Scranton High. So I'll be there. I'm really looking forward to it. It's been on my calendar for, I think, 5 months. So I'm excited about that. It'll be really cool. I was there at the initial phase of it a few years back, or two. Might have only been 2 years back. It seems like a long time ago. I was there for that original dedication, and then it's very exciting. The monument is there. It arrived, I think, on Monday. So it'll be very cool. Tomorrow will be a very special day in the city, especially to celebrate our veterans. Okay, I don't see any other questions. Let me just check and see. Okay. So really, we are working hard to try to get direct assistance from the federal government. We'll keep tracking what might be coming for small businesses. Like I said, the Restart Act, I just don't see how small businesses go through the next year and a half, potentially next year and a half, without more, another PPP type of thing. It's just, you can't run a restaurant on 25% capacity. It's just not possible, right? So I really feel for all the business owners out there that are struggling. So please do go to ScrantonWorks.org for a loan or a grant. The grants really still are available. So please take advantage of that. And then, the Small Business Development Center, they can really help with some of the technical assistance. They can help you look at your cash flow. They can help you diversify your business. They can help you look at ways to tweak your business. They can look at pricing on your menu, right? They really can help you. As Keith said, that there's an internship program now, which is great. So that might be a way to be able to get some more assistance. But at the end of the day, I know that not being able to run your business, not being able to be open is makes it all pretty impossible. So we'll continue to give information as we can about any of the opportunities that are out there to help you. And we we're worried right along with you. So we're trying to do what we can and let us know how we can help. You can always email us at scranton311@scrantonpa.gov. And if you have an issue that you need to report, we have, for police complaints, there's a police complaint form online. Our licensing inspections complaint form, we have one, but we're making it electronically submittable. That's going to be soon, so that'll be good. But if you don't use the internet, you'd rather call, you can call 348-4101 and get a hold of us that way. So thank you all so much for tuning in every week. I really enjoy this, and looks, maybe some people are on vacation. We didn't get very many questions today, but we'll be back next week. And thanks to my team for I know you didn't know where I was for 10 minutes. I'm sorry I was on the phone, but that was important. So thanks all for being there, and we'll see you next week.